More Gamerverse action, this time under the banner of the Punisher. We have Frank himself, aka the Punisher, and Nick Fury. How these two ended up together is anyone guess, but they are together, so it's up to us to see what's the what. What is up, my peeps? It's the Ruckus back at you again. We have got a two-pack today. Gamerverse has returned. Yes, indeed. We have the Punisher and Nick Fury. And this two-pack is under the heading of the Punisher, as you could see right there from the packaging. And the Gamerverse series of figures, mostly two-packs, have been pretty good. This time we get these two guys, and kind of controversial because Frank is his costume is in a bluish hue, and a lot of people aren't with that. The problem is that's the color that his costume was in the Capcom game. So you got to take it like that. It is what it is. It looks like we've got a fair amount of accessories in there. We'll check them out when we get the packaging open. Right now, we're going to look at the rest of the packaging. We've got the Gamerverse banner there at the top. And we've got some artwork of Nick Fury. This is Nick Fury Sr., by the way. And on the other side, Frank Castle himself. Francis Castiglione is his real name. And then on the rear, we've got those thumbnails only larged up, and it says press 1 player or 2 player start. So this is a bit different than the rears that we were getting before, which is cool. And we actually get a bio, believe it or not. All of that you see at the top there is a bio. It's small, but I think I can read it, and so I shall. The revenge-driven vigilante Punisher and S.H.I.E.L.D. agent Nick Fury gear up to take down the criminals that run their city. Punisher, oh, I was getting carried away. See, it is small. That next line is in different languages. So you get about 4 different languages that more or less say the same thing. So that's pretty cool that we actually got a bio with this set. But now it's time to dig in. Here's a better look at the figures and the accessories as they are in their clamshell. We've got a baseball bat. We've got what essentially is an M16 and some other weapons. We have plenty of weapons here. We've got a pair of M16s. It looks like, yes, we do. And some blast effects, additional hands for both characters. And we've got a briefcase full of money. And I figured I'd show you guys this. This is the backdrop that comes in the packaging. And I didn't expect this. This is pretty cool. So you can probably guess what type, what's going to be used for the basis of the end segment. In my opener, I had mentioned, I don't know what was the science, the method to the madness behind pairing these two in a Capcom 2-pack, but you know, I got to thinking, as far as, you know, just being normal, you know what I'm saying, individuals, not superpowered, these two are, even though you don't think of Nick Fury as being ruthless, he actually is being, you know, a spy. He was in World War II, and you know, the head of S.H.I.E.L.D., and he did a lot of, you know, he did a lot of crazy things in terms of the subterfuge and the stabbing people in the back, if you will, withholding information, using people to get the job done. And you know, they never really showed him to be ruthless like Frank Castle, but Nick can definitely hang with Fury in a firefight for sure. So I understand and why they're together, and so I'm good with it. I was going to be good with it regardless. You know, 2-pack is a 2-pack. That's pretty cool. But speaking of Nick Fury and the Punisher, this isn't the first time that these two were in 2-packs. We've had the Punisher in a 2-pack as recently as we had the Punisher in the Bushwhacker 2-pack, obviously a comic-based set, and we had Nick in a Shield 3-pack with Sharon Carter, Agent 13, and Dum Dum Dugan. Of course, the primary figure for that wasn't Nick Sr., it was his son, Nick Jr., who is Black American. Now, we're not going to get into, you know, how is that. That's just how it is. He did, however, come with an alternate head for Nick Sr. And we've got both of those figures that I just spoke of right here for the comparison. This is from the Nick Fury that we see here is from that 3-pack, and the Punisher is from that Bushwhacker 2-pack. Since this is Nick Fury Sr.'s first Marvel Legends appearance in years, we'll go ahead and showcase him first. So I can tell you straight off the bat that this is definitely, in terms of the body mold, an improvement over what we had before. Nick Fury we had before was on a the Bucky Cap buck. Yes. See, I'm trying to forget it. That's why, you know, and thankfully we really haven't seen hide nor hair of that buck in a good long while now. I have to, you know, we have to give props where they're due. Anyway, as far as this one is concerned, he has one similarity to the 3-pack version, and that is our weapon right here, the holster. This is a throwback, and not a good one either, to the good old days when Hasbro used to just give us the holstered weapons were actually molded. So this is totally useless, you know, and it's not that big a deal considering how many weapons we got with this set, but still, you know, I thought we were long since past Hasbro doing that, but it has been done indeed. So it is what it is. Still looking good. We've got the kind of like caramel colored shirt, and we've got the green pants and the additional plastics like this harness here, molded in green. We've got some nice paint going on there. I'll bring him closer up so we can see what I'm talking about there. Don't worry about him, you know, majority leaving the picture. I'm trying to show you some of this other stuff. You see, we've got some paint there on that statue holster that is basically just there for show. Buckle has got silver paint on that, so that's cool. We've got silver paint right there, so pretty nice there. We've got paint on the snaps of the pouches, pretty good. And then now we're talking Hasbro. Totally neglected the rear. No paint on the rear pouches. That's just, like I said, that's typical Hasbro. We did get some paint for the buckles for the holster there, for the pouches on the holster. So that's pretty cool. Gotta like that. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we've got paint for the snaps for the pouches on the harness there, and that's really it for the paint up top. Got paint for the buckle for the holster, his side holster there on his right leg, and that's it for the paint. We've got the boots. They're like a nice brown color for the boots. So yeah, Nick is definitely matching. The face print is looking pretty nice. Got to give that too. You know, he's got that. Look, the position his mouth is in. I mean, this is I would say that this is definitely classic Nick Fury Sr. right there. Got the eye patch, You know, his he had his right eye was he injured it in World War II, very late in the war during his run in the comics. So that's why he's wearing patch. When he first was in the comics, he had the vision in both of his eyes, and along the way he lost that one. So we've got the temple grays going on, and it isn't just molded gray. We've got some wash there to bring it out. So that's pretty cool. There, you have got to love that. As far as his articulation, we have got his head is on a ball hinge, so he can look up that far. He can look down just that much, but it's simply because he's blazing a turtleneck, and so that sweater, the neckline is impeding being able to look any further down than that. So that's just, aesthetic reasons sometimes presents caveats. He only gives you a little bit of tilt, and of course he can 360 around. He can get you a T-pose that far, and he has butterfly joints, but these butterfly joints are they're not as good as we would like them to be, I would say, because I've pushed them as far as I can go back. We only get that much on the rear back, and then in terms of the cross body, you can get some. It's going to be somewhat impeded because of the harness. Not that much. You won't get much more than that. You could get a little bit more if you took off the harness. That's what you get. You've got the bicep swivel, double jointed elbows. We have swiveling wrists, and both hinge vertically. They're both trigger fingers, so that makes sense. We've got an ab crunch that he goes down that far. Can get a little bit more, but once again, the harness kind of sort of impedes. He goes back that far. He's got a waist swivel, so you get that right there on the motion there. He can do the splits that far out. He can get you that's about 75 degrees in terms of the kick. You can go back a little bit like that. We've got the thigh cut. He's got double jointed knees. He's got swivels at the wrist, at the calf, and the boot is kind of sort of impeding the toe, pointing the toe forward. Wow, I'm really on one today. So you can only get it about that much, and the pants are interfering with the tongue or top of the boot there. It would be a tongue if it wasn't a solid boot. That's why I said tongue. So I didn't mess that wording up. So we've got the ankle pivot, and of course you got holes at the bottom of the feet, and that is the articulation scheme for our guy here, Nick Fury. As for Mr. Castle, the elephant in the room, of course, is the coloration of his costume with this blue hue that the costume is in. It's not black with blue highlights, you know what I'm saying? It's straight up blue, but some people just aren't with this scheme, this color scheme, but this is how he appeared in the game. So I've got no beef. He's got the skull looking pretty good. I'm checking mine out from right here, and I don't see any imperfections. No blotches or anything, or white paint missing off of the skull. So I'm pretty elated about that. We're going to bring him closer up so we can see that skull and get a better look. Looks pretty good right there. I'm serious. And yeah, I have no imperfections, so nice paint job right there. The plastics that he is adorned with, his harness and of course the belt, are a dirty white kind of color there. So and he actually comes with buckles painted as well. I don't know how well they translate because they're up against the grayish white plastic harness. But yeah, we've got paint on those buckles, so that's pretty cool. and no paint on any of the pouches on his belt. So you knew you wasn't getting everything. We've got paint on the buckles or the snaps on his holster, so that's pretty cool. Nothing for the buckles. That's the way it goes. Of course, in terms of that white, we've got the sleeves, which are a separate piece, by the way. So no paint. It's actually a separate piece to the arm there, and of course the boots. We've got that type of coloration there. He has curiously, the part of the thigh that is in between both straps of the holster, it's that same dirty white color too. And I'm assuming that was the way it was in the game too. I can't recall from whenever I've seen the game in action. That's about it. The belt here, once again, like I said, it's plastic, and this part of it is like a rubbery kind of plastic. It gives, which you'll need it to give for when you try to pose your figure there. Speaking of posing, we're going to talk about well, before we get into the posing, let's take a look at Frank's face piece there. And here's what he looks like with that other head sculpt, gritting the teeth and looking a little bit meaner than the other. The other one, he just looks like, same old Frank, never smiles. But this one, it looks like he's pissed. We've got the same 5 o'clock shadow, which is cool. Teeth look good. And both of these head sculpts are top notch. Frank's articulation scheme is as follows. We're on the Vulcan body mold, so you got good things coming from that. He can look up that far. His head is on a ball hinge, is what the neck has got going for us. He can put his chin to his chest, basically. You're not getting anything with the tilt, which is apropos for Frank Castle when you think about it. Of course, he can 360, and we can do the T-pose a little bit better than the T-pose with those arms there. I see that my white gloves are trying to disappear and melt into my white background. It is what it is, I guess. And he's got butterfly joints, so he can rear back. Check this out. That's good. That's good. You got to love that. Coming forward, crossing the body, he has the same issue that Nick had because he's got the harness. It's going to somewhat impede the cross body. Not that much, but a little bit, but you do get that. We've got the bicep. We've got the double jointed elbow. He's coming out the packaging with fists. So in conjunction with the swivel, he's got the horizontal wrist hinge. He's on a diaphragm, so he can go forward that much. And as you can see, that rubbery plastic does give. He goes back that much. You can, of course, tilt him side to side, and he can rotate left and right. He gives you splits that far apart. He can get you 90 degrees on the kick. Little bit going back. He's got the thigh cut, double jointed knees. So get that other joint going there. He also has swiveling boots there. He can point his toe that far. Got to do that because the white background's killing me. He can point up that far. He gets you the really good ankle pivot. Wow. And of course, holes at the bottom of his feet. Very good in terms of the articulation scheme for the Punisher. Now to showcase our pair with some of their accessories, you should take note that you see that Nick has got, they're both sporting M16s, and Nick is sporting a black one, whereas Frank is rocking a grayish one. And you can mix and match any kind of way you see fit, of course, but I'm just going by where the accessories were positioned in packaging, and all of the black ones were more or less on Nick's side. Plus his fake gun on his chest holster is molded black, the stock that you could see there. So that makes sense also. And like I said, Frank is rocking all of the gray stuff. We've seen the bat that the Punisher is wielding before. He has a bat also in the his Legendary Rider set where he had the motorcycle, and also Jigsaw has got one. Jigsaw's bat is painted aluminum, and yeah, that would mean that Jigsaw is rocking a Louisville Slugger, I would assume. And we've also seen the briefcase full of money, and I want to say that. I could be wrong about this. Yelena Belova had money. I think so. And we've seen this case a few times before. So they're rocking some retreads there. You'll note what the Punisher's carrying in his left hand. There was a grenade in the assortment of accessories as well. And that grenade that Frank just casually tossed over his shoulder is the reason why we got that blast effect that you can see poking out back there. So there it is, as promised. The that backdrop that came with packaging, well, we've been using it the past couple poses for these characters, but like I said, it was going to be for the end shot, and here we go. As far as the 2-pack is concerned, I think it's a nice one. It's a good one. I'm talking about Gamerverse, another addition to our Gamerverse line. We have got the Punisher, for whom this is bannered under, and Nick Fury, whom we haven't seen in quite some time. Not including the Nick Fury that we got in the Shield 3-pack. That was for Nick Fury Jr., and we did get a swappable head for that guy, and it worked because he was uniformed literally from the neck down, gloved, so the only difference would be the color. I'm saying all that once again, if you came in late, Nick Fury Jr. is Black American, and he's Junior. Yeah, he's the son of Nick Fury Sr. You're going to have to go back and find out for yourself how that all went down. And yeah, but both figures are pretty good. They're very good, matter of fact. Obviously, I would rate the Punishers simply because of the body mold better figure than Fury's, but Fury's is not bad at all too. He comes with butterfly joints. His butterfly joints aren't as functional as Frank's, but they are there. They are present. Frank came with the king's share of the accessories of the weapons. We got a briefcase full of money. You know what I'm saying? And a blast effect, which we've seen before, but pretty good for here. It would have been nice if we had gotten some effects for the weapons, even though only the hand weapons and the weapon in Frank's right hand are the only ones that actually have portholes. Everything else, blast effects wouldn't work on. But still a nice set. Even the backdrop that we got, which we're using, functionality abounds with this set. So pretty cool. What do you guys think? I'm loving it. I'm enjoying it. So yeah, this is pretty cool. Pretty cool. I didn't think I'd like it as much as I do, but I do. So what about you? Let me know down below. Also, like, share, subscribe if you have not done so already. You know what I'm saying? Do all of those things. Hit the notification bell so you can be notified when I upload something else. And I will be uploading something else. So until then, take care, my peeps. Peace.